Hello friends, welcome back to my channel and I am Tanya. Today we are going to build up an effective resume for your job search process. With artificial intelligence coming into picture, the resume needs to be ATS friendly. So together, today we are going to build an effective resume for you. Your each like helps this content to reach the right people and encourages me to create better content. So if you like my content, hit that like button. In this video, we will be covering up two sections. One is building a resume, and towards the end of the resume, I will be sharing formatting tips with you that makes your resume effective and ATS friendly. So let's start with it. A resume is made up of 4 parts. The first is your contact information. Second is your profile summary. Third is your work experiences. And fourth is your education and your career development. You may also add up your voluntary experience into your resume. So let's start with the first part, that is your contact information. You should have your name, complete name, that is first name and the last name on the resume. You can also add your professional certification with it if you have any. For example, CPA, CHRP, CHRL, PMP or any other professional certification. Followed by that, you will have your address. By address, it means we want to show what location you are available at. Then we will have your recent contact number and your email address. Please make sure your email address is professional looking, and then we also add our LinkedIn profile URL to it. So let's start with the second part, that is your career summary. Your career summary begins with your job title, whatever job title you're holding as of now. For example, for me it will be HR generalist. Any software engineer or software developer may have it as Java developer or whatever is their job title at the present time. Followed by the job title, we have the career statement. A career statement is the objective that shows what are your professional goals and what are the skill set that you're bringing to the company. It could be 2 to 3 sentences and can be tailored according to the job description. Here I am giving you 2 such examples how can you effectively write your career statement. Followed by the career statement is the most important section of the resume, that is core competencies. Core competencies is the skill set that you're bringing with you to the job. So it could be your technical skills, it could be your managerial skills, or it could be your soft skills. I always advise to list up your skills into bullets because they are easy to look at and can be easily read. Make sure you're picking up the keywords from the job description and adding it to that section. Because the ATS system, the application tracking system, picks up the keyword. Now moving on to the third section of the resume, that is listing up your work experiences. You list up your work experiences from your most recent to the oldest job. Make sure you're mentioning your job title on the top, the company name and the duration that you have spent there. Post the duration comes the most important part, defining your experiences. Always write your experiences in bullet points. They are also called accomplishment statements. And there is an effective formula that I'm going to share with you to make good accomplishment statements. The accomplishment statement is made up of 3 parts. The action verb. What did you do, using what tools, and what was the outcome? Always try to put up your results in form of quantitative manner, using percentages, supporting the data so that it is more effective. After listing up your accomplishment statements, you can add a small section of initiatives. If there were any initiatives that you took, particularly by yourself and resulted in creating an impact in the company. Post that, you can definitely add a section of achievements or any awards that were given to you. These sections are completely optional. Post the work experiences, now comes the last part, that is listing up your education and certifications. Before starting the education and certification section, if you have done any kind of voluntary work, please add that before this section. And in the education section, list up all your education starting with the most recent one. Also make sure that you are adding up any certifications that you have done in this section. Nowadays, all the companies filter your resumes through ATS before they reach the recruiter. So we need to make sure our resume is good to look at and it is application tracking system friendly. So now I'm going to share some formatting tips that are very important and that will make your resume ATS friendly. While colors, text boxes, charts or pictures may make look your resume attractive, but that is not ATS friendly. Any application system cannot read the charts, the pictures, text boxes or colors. So make sure you're not using any of them in your resume. Don't put any information in header and footer of a resume. Yes, our ATS system is not able to read the headers and the footers. So avoid putting any information in headers or footers. The font types. Avoid using any design formats or design fonts or any cursive writing fonts. Use the professional fonts like Verdana, Calibri, Cambria and Arial because they are easily read by the ATS system and your information is not lost. Next is the font size. The font size in your resume should be 10 to 12. For the headings, you can use a font size of 14. Your resume is full of information, so make sure you are using the bold options and the italics options to emphasize on the important terminologies or important keywords present in your resume. The next important point is to use the white spaces effectively. If the resume is tightly packed with limited white spaces, it can be overwhelming for a recruiter to read a lot of cluttered information. So make sure you are using the white spaces effectively to let the resume breathe and the information come out in an effective manner. When we talk about the white spaces, always make sure you are using a margin white space of 1 inch at least. Please make sure all the bullets that you have used in your resume from top to bottom should be aligned in one line. Now let's talk about one of the most confusing topics, that is number of pages. So if you have your experience from 1 to 5 years, your resume should be in 1 page. If you have your experience from 5 to 10 years, your resume can go up to 2 pages. And if you have your experience more than 10 years, you are allowed to use 3 pages. Now let's talk about the content. Make sure while you're writing your resume, you are never using the word I. You never use word I in your resume. Another important thing is, if you're talking about your past experiences, make sure you're using the past tense, managed, created, initiated, etc. And if you're talking about your current experience, make sure it is in present tense, managing, creating, initiating, anything like that. So these are the things that people don't take care of but are very, very important. Now let's talk about another important point. Do not use periods in your resume. You really don't need to use periods or full stops in your resume anyway. Please make sure you're not using any industry specific jargons, abbreviations, short forms in your resume. You never know. Maybe the person who's reading your resume is unaware about all these terminology. One important thing. How can we make a ATS system pick up our resume amongst all the resumes entered in there? The answer is optimize your resume with the keywords. Make sure you have all the important keywords in your resume. One solution could be go through 2 to 3 job descriptions, pick up the keywords that are used in every job description and enter them in your resume so that it gives strength to your resume and your resume gets picked up. Please make sure you're not adding any personal information in your resume like your date of birth, your nationality, your gender or your marital status. Kindly avoid using the country name or the city name in your past experiences that were not in Canada. It will enhance the chances of recruiters selecting your resume. So this is all from my side. This is all the information that I wanted to share with you to make an effective resume. I hope it was helpful and you like my video. If I have missed on any points and you need any clarifications, please feel free to comment below and I will be happy to clarify your doubts.